battling it out in the paint tonight. What did you see between the two of them?
Wow, it was like two heavyweights. Two of the best bigs in the country, and also two of the best bigs in our conference competing. Nothing that I was surprised about because they've done it before in the past. It was fun to watch on the sideline. Just fortunate enough for Purdue, they ended up winning the ball game. But I just love to see how our guys throughout tonight just competed on both sides of the ball.
It wasn't the result you guys wanted, but kind of a positive note, Joey at the end, he was diving on the ground, he had a big three, a nice layup. Like, how important is his aggression and production, especially with the possibility of Jet missing time?
Well, we always have that mentality about next man up, and Joey, he got the nod being the starter tonight, Jet being out, and Joey, the competitor he is, with the minutes that he's gotten this year. It's not the first time he's been able to dive on the floor for a loose ball, but it's not the first time when he's made outside shots. But it shows that he was trying to give wherever he can to help the team win. And I admire and respect the way how he's handled this opportunity and also his role with the team.
One guy who wanted to be here, you said Jet would have played if it was up to him. What were your conversations like with him? At what point did you decide?
Oh, it's always hard with Jet, and this is not our first time where he's been injured, and Jet has played while injured or forced himself to play. That's how he's wired. He's a competitor. He's tough as nails, and then he also Howard. And with that, tonight, he wasn't, healthy enough to go. Jet still, as stubborn as he is, and that's a great part that he has, being stubborn, because some of the great ones they have that little stubborn gene because they're competitive. And tonight, just looking at the big scope of things, health is important. Don't want him to go through a season where it becomes a thing where he injures it tonight, then he's out again, for some days, and those type of things does happen. And wanted to avoid it, giving an opportunity to get healthy. We have another day where we can work on getting treatment. Our trainer, Chris, has done a phenomenal job with his staff of treatment 3 to 4 times a day with Jet. Jet is right now, getting treatment. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. And hopefully, it will be less pain than what it was today. But he felt pain today.
Juwan, a 5-point loss to the #1 team in the country. You got a few losses, close losses against good teams. In situations like how do you evaluate your team? You like obviously that they're close, but not getting over the hump. How do you evaluate your team in games like this?
Competitors, man. You see that a team that is having that mindset of having so many built-in excuses throughout this year. Let's first start with the injuries. Jalen is out, and then have Doug step up. Then you find that Jace is out, and then Yo-Yo, he's injured, he's out. Then now, like you said earlier, with Jet being out, those are the things that you try and pray and hope that you can avoid throughout the season, where you can have luck on your side. And luck I'm speaking of is good luck with injuries. But injuries happen throughout, sports, and at times you gotta just dig deep and learn from that adversity and keep building off of it. And that's why I've been so proud of this group. All the adversity that we faced, we still haven't given up. We still haven't had lost hope. We're still going to remain positive. We're still going to continue to keep competing each game.
Juwan, you've done your fair share of winning both here and elsewhere. I wonder, what is the difference that maybe some of those other teams were able to do in winning those close games that's maybe not happening right now?
I just talked about it, health. And then some of those teams that we've had experience as well. So, this year, we have freshmen and they're competing and they will continue to keep competing. And, great, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And we're gonna stay positive and we will remain positive.
Paul?
Hey, Juwan, you and Purdue traded blows for most of the game. In that 15-0 run in the first half for Purdue, what did they do specifically that helped them kind of build that cushion that they were able to cling to for the rest of the game?
Well, you look at our offense, we shot 50% from the second half. We also shot 35% from three, but Purdue shot 57% in the second half and 42% from three. And so getting back to that stretch where we did not score and they did, it was because we lost sight of allowing those drives to the basket, and those drives either ended up being a made layup or a foul that led to, Fletcher going to the free throw line. Just two possessions here and there. We lost sight of one of our defensive assignments, and they made a three. I think it was Gillis, and that three right there hurt because those are the type of moments where good teams, when you have a defensive mistake, those good teams make you pay, and that's what Purdue did. So give them credit. They're #1 team in the country for a reason.
Andrew?
Juwan, I know you prefer the team to keep getting better as the season goes and competing at the right time. In what ways are you seeing regular improvement, if you are, or if you're seeing similar mistakes?
Well, there's always improvement, and I always try to find the positive out of everything in life. That's how I'm wired. And the positive that I saw was our guys competed from the beginning to the end. And that right there, as a coach, and every coach in America will tell you, when the ball is not going in, when you have a team that still are competing, that's one of the things that we all as coaches love having is, and that's one of the things that teams will stop doing at times when the ball is not going in the basket for you. It becomes a compound mistake on the defensive end, and I haven't seen that with this group. And that goes all the way back to when we played against Michigan State. First half, couldn't score, but we kept defending, and that's what this group has been doing throughout the season.
Got time for a couple more, Ryan?
With top-tier teams in college basketball year to year, like Purdue this year, how much is depth a differentiating factor for those teams?
Repeat that first.
With top-tier teams year to year in college basketball, how much is depth a differentiating factor for them?
Oh, every team wish they had depth. Depth is always a big plus because once you go down with injuries like I discussed earlier, or if a guy not playing well, next man up, and you have another guy you can put in, and it's like you never miss a beat.
Jack, you want to?
But I still don't understand what you're trying to get from that.
Purdue seems like they have pretty deep roster, which is.
Okay.
Jack?
All right, this is the third year in a row you've had the game plan for Zach Edey. I guess, how have you seen him grow as a player?
Oh, Zach is, he's one of the best in the country for a reason. And inside, he's skilled big, very effective, especially 8 feet in. I think he probably shoot a high percentage, like high 80s. And I haven't seen him shoot many jump shots, but he sticks to what works for him. And that's why I respect, with Zach, because today's game you'll see a lot of young men that fall in love with the three-point line, but Zach always stick to what works for him, and he never goes out of the element. He trusts himself, and Purdue has done a phenomenal job in developing him since the time he stepped foot in that campus when he was a freshman.
Thank you, Coach.
Have a good night.